But Pixel gives you the option to make them easier with the new Best Take feature in Google Photos. Best Take uses a series of photos taken closer together to help you create the shot you want. So you can choose what you think is the best expression.
What's good, YouTube? TP Locks here, bringing you guys another video today. Yes, hey you guys, I'm extremely excited to share with you how we landed the Google Pixel 8 marketing launch opportunity. If you're interested in that video, stay tuned. The most common question we've been receiving since this dropped, and really honestly since my wife has been doing a lot of the amazing things that she's been doing, is how? How is your family getting these opportunities? Where did your journey begin? How did this blackity black family find its way in the center of a Google keynote event, right? How? My wife has been a commercial actor from the very beginning of this channel. She's been putting in long hours, grinding, investing the time in voice coaches and acting coaches and lessons, all the things. And honestly, the story of how she ended up becoming a commercial actor was very funny. My daughter was born, my oldest. Like most parents, we just knew our daughter was so beautiful that she just needed to be a little princess model, right? We wanted to see if we can get her some modeling or acting gigs. Secretly, fellas, is as soon as they have that first baby, they all think their baby can be a model. Don't worry about it, just go with it. So of course, when we saw our firstborn child, we just knew she had to do some sort of modeling, some sort of acting, just something to capitalize off that cute little face to build up that college fund. You know what I'm saying? So that was where that journey, or at least in my mind, that's where that journey initially started. That's where that thought initially began. So one day my wife decides to go to church, and in this church there's a lady that she met through another lady that she knows through a mentor. How that works, a friend of a friend of a friend. So this friend who was in church that day saw my wife and saw my daughter and said, you know what? Your daughter could definitely do some modeling. I'll take her information, but you know what? You could be a model too. I think you could be a talent. I think you could be a model. I think you could act. I think you could do some things in this agency. Have you ever thought about it? So of course my wife comes home from church that day and she tells me,
I think I kind of want to do commercial acting and modeling.
Let me stop real quick and have a very candid moment. When my wife came home that day and told me that she wanted to be a commercial actor, my response was not a positive one. And let me explain why real quick. This is why I stopped. Don't you try to rush. Slow down. Around this time frame, my wife and I were living in the project. Maybe not literally a project, but it was an income restricted unit. There were stabbings in the elevator. It was not a cool situation. We're in the phase of life where I'm currently a product advisor for a retail Microsoft store, making $15 an hour. I've got a brand new, fresh, beautiful baby girl. My wife is a stay-at-home mom, and I am trying to figure it out. All my wheels are literally being spent on how am I going to find a job that can afford all the bills so my wife doesn't have to work. That was my only mission at the time. So needless to say, I don't need any more responding variables or any manipulated variables. I need everything to stay put. I need my wife to stay put. I need my daughter to stay put. I wanted everything to just stay still. My wife had other plans, and God had other plans. So of course, when my wife tells me this news, there's resistance. The reason there's resistance is because up until this point, I had never heard my wife utter this dream. I had never heard my wife tell me that she had wanted to do this thing. I never heard, hey, I want to be a commercial actor. Mind you, I had known my wife since 14 years old. So it's not from a lack of exposure, it's not from a lack of proximity. I have loved my wife for a very long time. I have known her for a very long time. This was never something that came up. Rest assured, after the resistance, there was a mutual understanding. At that point in time, I wasn't working from home. So anytime my wife needed to do classes or needed to do a job, we were utilizing the support of my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is absolutely amazing. Praise God for being able to have her and be able to rely on her for so many things. But that's pretty much what happened. We had to utilize family. And so we got through that. My wife continued to invest in her career. She continued to grind, voice lessons, acting coaches. My wife has been doing it, y'all. She's done jobs with Amazon. She's done extra roles in Grey's Anatomy. Most recently, a gig with C4 that was huge. She's been killing it so much that she was actually able to get all of us signed here to the largest agency in the DFW area in Kim Dawson's agency. We literally got every single person in this family signed, me included. I didn't get myself signed. YouTube didn't get me signed. My wife got me signed. So I tell you fellas again, man who finds a good wife finds a good thing. Good Real talk. That's pretty much how that journey began. I was focused on the mission of handling all of our infrastructure and our bills. My wife is on the mission of conquering her dreams, and that's exactly what she's done. And you can see here the fruits of her labor are absolutely amazing. So baby, I know you're probably in earshot, but you're also probably watching this video right now. I love you, and you were right. Now that we covered a little bit of the background, let's talk about how we got the opportunity. My wife has 2 agents that she works with. She works with an agent out in Seattle as well as an agent out in the DFW area in Kim Dawson. Both of the agents, how the agencies work is they're able to procure jobs on her behalf. Anytime they're able to procure a job, they pretty much take their percentage, they give us the bulk, and that's pretty much the relationship. Now, how people usually get agents, it can be a mixture of your work being seen, networking. My wife was able to network when she got out here through some moms that she knew. She was able to link with the agency that way. And in Seattle, obviously, as I told you guys, the church story. But when you got those agents, they're basically on the hunt for the job. Anytime an agent sees a job that they think that you would work great for, they send it to your email, they ask for an audition, you submit the audition to the agent will submit it, and then you'll go through there. I am a novice, so I can't say this is exactly how it goes for every single person, but I can say in this instance, this is how it worked for us with this job. Essentially, her agent out in Seattle had reached out to her and said, hey, Google's got a great job for you. Would you guys be interested? This is actually another time to tell my wife that she was right. Every year, my wife likes to do like an annual photo shoot, and we send them out to our family and our friends. It's a cool way to sort of commemorate the year, the holiday season, and ultimately just to collect a cool catalog of photos for it. Over the years, we've been able to look at the books and some of the photos as our family has grown, and it's been really cool. One of the photo shoots that we actually did with Carmen Bridgewater, who is an amazing photographer out of the DFW area. Shout out to you, Carmen. She's a family friend as well. She did this amazing photo shoot with us, ironically, when I still had locks. And this photo shoot was actually the one that they saw and was the reason why they picked us. Again, fellas, find a wife. Find a good thing. There you go. You guys are catching up. Getting the confirmation and all the contractual stuff is probably one of the most nerve-wracking things in the world. Not to mention the turnaround time. When these people tell you that they want you to report to a place, no matter where it is, it could be Nantucket, it could be Zimbabwe, it could be Egypt, you better show up there. You can get a job confirmation on Monday that tells you that you need to be somewhere on Tuesday for a fitting and Thursday for the actual job. It is tough. Not to mention, for this particular job, we actually didn't have travel covered, but we were paid handsomely. But again, moving as a family, paying $2,000 plus for plane tickets, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all see what I'm saying? You got kids and y'all know what I'm saying. It was definitely a sacrifice on our part, but obviously, man, the results were amazing. The shoot was in Portland, Oregon. We took our flights. The flight was amazing. The girls usually are pretty good on those flights, so it was really cool there. We stayed in a hotel that was not too far from the location. Portland, Oregon, though, I gotta say, we're from Seattle, so we know a little something about the Pacific Northwest. It's a beautiful place, but downtown Portland has gotta be probably the worst downtown area ever. And the reason is the homeless, the trash, the feces. Like literally people are doing drugs on the street, smoking out of crack pipes in broad daylight. My wife's mother was actually at a diner. We were walking down the streets of Portland to go meet her. So I pull up, man, and somebody is literally shitting right outside of this diner. And it's a woman who's shitting outside because the clerk on the inside of this diner told her that only paying customers can use the bathroom. Like, dog, Portland is wild. I don't know what's going on. We don't need to make this no political thing, but it was a wild experience. Aside from Portland, the experience was amazing. First day we had to do our fitting. Fitting was at this immaculate gala in downtown Portland, this really nice area. Designer clothes filled the room, racks. For somebody who was brand new to this, I was just looking around like, yo, this is the life. It was so dope to see my little baby girl just blossoming. Every time they would try something on, they would look in the mirrors and smile. They had other staff that was around that was helping them get dressed and sort of giving them little positive affirmations. So it was dope to see them interacting with everybody. It was weird too, man, because there was a little bit of the royal treatment, like having people put garments on for you and tie your shoes for you. The last thing I expected to happen in Portland was for me to have some white girl tying my shoes. Let me just tell you that right now. Like, that was the last thing, baby. I can explain. So for our first day there, we got fitted. We tried on some cool clothes. It was actually pretty funny because I ended up using the clothes that I brought. They give you the ability to bring some clothing options of your own, and they actually pay you extra if they use yours. So they chose to use mine. The fact that they using my clothes and not the designer clothes, come on now. Let me pop my collar. But that was a cool experience. And after the fitting, we ate dinner, we enjoyed the hotel room. I love the view in that hotel room, you guys. Hopefully I can show you guys some B-roll of that hotel room. Next day was actually when we did the shoot. Now for the day of the shoot, we actually had to go to a remote location, probably about 30 to 45 minutes away from downtown Portland. As we were driving there, it was pretty cool to see all the terrain of the city. Portland is actually a really beautiful city, y'all. Mountains, it was sunny that day. It got farmland, they got that downtown, obviously, water. Pacific Northwest is one of the most beautiful places around the world. I just don't like the weather, but it's a beautiful place. Well, we ended up driving 30 minutes to this remote location, and when we stop at this trailer. In this trailer, you guys, is a crew full of staff that are there to make sure our makeup, our face, getting our eye boogers, making sure we got our wardrobe is ironed. That's what they're there for. I wasn't letting this out during the time of the actual event, but I was really excited to be in that environment, be able to talk to the crew, to be able to see how this goes, to know that my wife has been working in this direction for so long, and to kind of be in it and to kind of see her world. I ain't gonna lie, it was very exciting. Essentially, we sit through makeup, we all get dressed, and we head out to the farm. Heading out to the farm was actually another surreal moment, because what we found out was that the set was actually owned by some wealthy person who had just allowed Google to use the property. As you're walking around this property that Google is renting out for a gig, you're just thinking, you're just calculating all the money. Like, this mansion was loaded, fully decked out, kitchen, rooms, barns, guest houses. As I'm walking around calculating everything, in my head again, I'm excited, because I'm like, I'm seeing a new world, I'm seeing a new level of money, and I'm just thinking in my head like, yo, I gotta work harder. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is motivational. I'm just looking around being inspired. There's camera crews everywhere. The only hitch of the experience was my youngest daughter. My youngest daughter did not want any parts. And again, she's young. She's only 2 years old. So we knew that this was gonna happen, and I'm pretty sure Google knew this was gonna happen. That's why they chose us to feature Best Take. They knew we was gonna have a photo that was messed up a little bit. I'm almost guaranteeing they knew. As the person who was the most green there, I was thinking in my head like, yo, please, Lord, don't let this girl ruin this opportunity for us. We have worked very hard to get here, Lord. Please don't let them scrap this. For a while, it was looking like they might have scrapped it, because the scene where we're actually over the gate, she was just throwing a fit the entire time. After we were finished with the actual shooting part and taking all the photos, there was like a brief period where we had to wait just to make sure that they got the shot. Anytime you're doing those large productions, they got to make sure they have several options to run with. So we did have a little bit of wait time there. But after we waited, we're pretty much done. We drove back to the hotel, and that was it. The most difficult part of the process post shooting the actual shot was keeping it a secret, y'all. When we signed the contract, it was riddled with NDAs. We couldn't tell y'all that we were working with Google. Couldn't tell y'all what phone we were gonna be helping launch. We couldn't tell y'all nothing. In this time period after we had finished the photo shoot, it had probably been about 3 months. All that time not knowing what they're gonna release, how it's gonna release, when it's gonna come out. These jobs don't send you all the files that they took of you after they're done. If you can establish a contact, sometimes they'll send you the stuff, like C4, I think they did that for my wife. But most times, you just gotta go grab that stuff yourself once it comes out. There was a little bit of nerves and angst there. I wanted to know when these photos were gonna come out. I wanted to know which photos they picked. I wanted to know if they had decided to scrap it. Like, you never really know. Seeing it here today, I'm actually recording this video on the 4th. It will probably release sometime on this Saturday. I think the most consistent motifs with this story are my wife, trusting my wife, and God, you know what I'm saying? And those two things being aligned, I think is fitting. I sit here before you guys today, very grateful for the opportunity, encouraged to see what the future holds, thankful for all your support. It was an amazing experience. You know, to be able to Google and Twitter and see our faces plastered up all over the Google website, you know, to know that this has been a dream that my wife has been working for, and to be able to share it with you guys today, the same week as my birthday, it feels like divine alignment, y'all. It really does feel like divine alignment. And I want to say all glory to God. Thank you, God, for all that you do for all of us. Thank you for all the immense blessings that you bestowed across my family. Thank you for the Google team for extending the opportunity. This was an amazing experience, you guys. This really was. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this story, this background. Hopefully I've made it a compelling video, because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I just got in mode and told you a story, and hopefully I put it together. All right, so I hope you enjoy it. All right, it's been TV Locks, signing out.
Well, I got her skin done, or well, to make foundation. I'll show you guys. If you're like skin, I'm like, I'm already moisturized. What do you need from me? I know you're killing it.
Are there any more days of shooting for you guys?
That's wonderful.
Oh yeah, you guys are busy.
This is
Ooh, that's a close up, babe. Whoa.
He's checking out every single
Makes it compelling, you know.
Good.
Could be a transition, you know.
Oh, okay.
Let me get a couple more.
See, that's just too much.